I just need to put the steam right under my face. Okay, so I don't look super glam, but that's okay. Hey everyone, it's Steph. Welcome to today's video. This is just going to be a short little blurb about what I've been reading while I've been under the weather the last 2 days. It is not COVID, thankfully. No sign of fever or anything like that, but I have some ongoing sinus issues that ended up being able to take some medicine that's slowly helping me feel a bit more like myself. I have been feeling kind of blah, and for a few days my head hurt so bad I just couldn't even focus on reading. So what I ended up doing was binge watching a lot of Avatar, The Last Airbender on Netflix, and revisiting that show for the first time in a little while, which has been really nice. Today is the first day I went out for a little bit, ran a couple errands. I'm a bit tired, but the lighting's good, so we're just gonna go with it and pretend you can't see how messy my hair is. So I'm in this warm scarf and a red sweater because it's almost Christmas. So thank goodness for that. So, I have been reading some clean romances, some really sweet Hallmarky kind of type romances, so I wanted to share them with you during this vlog. Like I said, I hadn't read for a couple days, and then I found a bunch of short stories. So these are all under 200 pages, so it's really nice if you want to read them during the Christmas season. They don't take a lot of time, and if you're trying to boost your Goodreads reading goal for the year, this is a great way to add a few books to your collection. So I read the last 3 books in the Bells of Christmas series. Previously I talked about the Frost Fair series, and this is by the same 5 authors as the Frost Fair series, but it was written last year and it's called The Bells of Christmas. I picked up with a 3rd one over the weekend called The Earl's Mistletoe Match. Ended up being a story of 2 cousins. One cousin is a companion for the other, and her cousin is very young and naive and her first season. So what ends up happening is the person who is kind of intended for her cousin is who she ends up falling for. Her cousin ends up falling for someone who is not of the wealth and status that the cousin is. So then there's this whole debacle, who they're supposed to be with versus who they want to be with, and it's a great Regency romance, great Christmassy story, very fun and festive, and lots of outdoor Christmas activities during this one. Ice skating, looking for holly and mistletoe and that kind of stuff. It's fun. Next up in this series, we have the 9 Ladies Dancing. This is a story about 2 childhood friends who are now marriageable age. She has always been in love with him, and he sort of kind of has underlying feelings for her, but is afraid to push past that friendship boundary into trying to seek a romantic partnership. His mother ends up making a list of 9 women that he has to kind of step out of his shell and interact with during the Christmas to New Year's 12 days after Christmas time period. And he has to at least interact with them and make an effort to get to know them better. We see how complications arise along the way. So it's interesting how many books I read this year that have twins pop up in them, and this is one where he's a twin and his twin sister is very good friends with his childhood friend, who is the main female lead in this story. Very cute story, very fun and festive for Christmas. Last in this series was my favorite, A Duke for Lady Eve, and this was about a duke who meets this woman. The gentleman's daughter pretends to be a lady when they meet outside of a ballroom at a very fancy, spiffy event of society. He ends up learning later on that she's not quite who she says she is, and trust issues and challenges that come up, and all this stuff going on. It was a great story. I really liked the style of writing, and the male protagonist reminded me of Mr. Darcy. Felt like some Pride and Prejudice themes going through this story, so definitely worth reading if you have not checked this out. Next up, because I read The Bells of Christmas and I read the Frost Fair series and really liked some of the authors, I'd like to check out more of their work. I decided to look up Casey Stockton, who was one of the authors from the Bells of Christmas series, and I found that she had some cute contemporary romance stories as well as historical romance. So I picked up his Stand-In Holiday Girlfriend. This feels very much like a Hallmark movie. It's really sweet. We have this girl who starts off at a new job. The meet cute is there. They work together, and he's working with his ex on a project for the Christmas season, and she's trying to get him back, and it's a toxic relationship he's trying to stay out of. So he ends up asking this new employee to basically pretend to be his girlfriend so his ex will stay away. and then the issues that arise, and he ends up having to take her to his family Christmas party, and things happen, and it was really sweet. I just read this in pretty much in one sitting. It's not a long read. Again, under 200 pages, but really enjoyable, and just gives you all the Christmas feels, and it's had a really, really sweet ending. I loved the last couple paragraphs. Was just the sweetest little conclusion to the story. Definitely worth checking out. This is the beginning of a trilogy. They're all short Christmas stories. The next story does not take place with any of the characters from the first story, so this is entirely new. This takes the story from California to Utah. This is in an inn in the mountains during the Christmas season, where our main female protagonist is taking over as manager while her boss is away for a week during the Christmas season. She is, as acting manager, is handling problems as they arise, and she ends up realizing that her ex-fiance, he is staying there during her time as acting manager, and his family is coming to visit, so all these different things that arise and how she handles problems as they get snowed in. This talks a little bit about mental health issues, situational depression. It wasn't like a total Debbie Downer kind of story when it talked about that. I really liked that it talked about it in a very positive way, talked about it in a very realistic way, and seeking therapy and getting the help you need in order to maintain a positive relationship with yourself and a positive relationship with others. So I really enjoyed that component and thought it was a great story. So that wraps up my vlog of things that I've read while I've been under the weather. Again, most of these are short stories, but they have just given me a bit of Christmas spirit. So I thought I'd share in case you're interested. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will chat more with you guys next time. Have a great day.